Hello, everyone, and welcome. You are here on my page, so you already know my name, Laleh Hancock, and this is my cool chick friend, Simone Zucker. Hey, Simone.
Hi, Laleh. Hi, everybody.
Hello, Facebook land people. How the heck are you?
I guess everyone is full of magic and possibilities out there, isn't there? Like,
Do
it's
you
the
think so?
perfect time. Yeah, I think like everyone is choosing all the possibilities that are out there. Are
You know,
you?
you know what's funny is like, now it seems like America has like is breathing. I have so many people I know who were like, for 3 days, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't go anywhere. I just was glued to my TV. I needed to make sure it wasn't going to be Trump who was going to be president. I'm like, okay, during those 3 days, what else could you have created? But yeah, I think the rest of the world has a breath going as well because US affects everybody, not just the US. So pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and our topic is actually like superpowers. Like, what are they? Is it even something for you? Is it just the others? Is it just something that's in movies? Like, what's going on with superpowers?
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, okay, we have to at least start with what the heck is superpowers, Not from definition, but like most of us knew when we were 3 years old, we had superpowers. You could climb a tree or you could jump or you could do things that back then, you knew was possible. And then somewhere along the way, mom or dad said, don't do that. That's not safe or whatever. And we start holding back what actually is our innate capacity and ability. But yet that doesn't mean your gifts go away. It just means that you're hiding them from you. And most of the time, you're the only one you're hiding it from.
Yeah. And also, like as a child, like if you remember, have you get all the time everything you desired to have? Like how much easier has it been? Like the ask and receive part. And then all of a sudden, like it seems like when all the thinking comes into play in school and like all the learning, and like then you forget about that superpower, like ask and receive. Like, what do I need to be and do here to get whatever I would like?
Yeah, and you know what? What's really interesting is that most of us have gifts that are our superpowers, our capacities, abilities, our talents, and some people would say your strength, okay? But
Mhm.
they're so easy. They're so innately you, being you, that you disqualify them. You like kind of like push them aside and say, ah, yeah, not that. So I'm
Mhm.
curious, Simone, what is one of your superpowers that you used to, sorry, you used to think was like, no, it's no big deal.
Being everywhere.
Being everywhere.
I
Okay.
just
You're cute. You're
which
cute.
is actually true. Like I'm like, yeah, I love to be everywhere. Like, yeah, like there's so many things that are, yeah. I guess one of my superpowers is that I have a capacity to just engage with people and, yeah, make it easy for them to look at things or to say yes to something, even if it's uncomfortable. Like, actually, Steve Bowman asked me, like, if I'm asking someone to do a Facebook Live or a video, everyone says yes and love to play, even if they've never done it before.
Yeah.
Like there's a capacity that people say yes to me.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. I mean, that doesn't sound like huge, but actually it is. And then with the questions and the conversations, you start to look at things that you probably have not acknowledged before. Like, oh, that's true. Yeah. Like that's one thing I would say, like videos and engaging with people and inviting them to come out of the comfort zone just for the fun of it, and
Yeah.
no significance, no big deal. It's just like, let's play.
Well, that is when you actually create the magic, when there is no significance and you're just being you. And then you allow that energy to kind of exude and go out there. So, yeah. And you know what? That is actually a big deal. Most people fear asking questions. because they go into the distractor of like, what if they say no?
Yeah, but if you don't ask, you have the no already. If you ask, you have the chance for a yes. That's the difference for me.
So a couple of years ago, I, we're both Right Voice free facilitators too. And with Right Voice, we always love to do different activities. We were in New York, and one of our assignments was, hey, go try to get tonight 5 no's, like things that people are going to say no to you. And I remember we're in New York City, and there's this guy. He had a big old, like 60-inch TV that he was rolling down the hill. And I went up to him, like, hi, can I have this TV? And he looked at me. He literally thought for a while, and he was like, I'd like to say yes. I don't know why I want to say yes to you, but someone else bought this. But like for a few minutes, he was so confused because he couldn't say no. And he still didn't say no. He goes, you know what? Here's where you can go buy one. He still didn't say no. And then I walked down a little bit further, and there was this guy. He was about to cross the street, and he was bald. And it was so funny. I just said to him, I was like, hey, hi, do you mind if I run your bars while we cross the street? And he goes, what
Good
are
one.
the bars? And I said, I just touch my hands on your head. And he goes, okay.
I love it.
Literally put my hands on this stranger's head as we walked across this long street, stopped in the middle because there was another set of lights, and then did it again for the next. And he was so happy. Like, he's like, I have to say, you're the first person to ever ask me, can you touch my head while I'm crossing the street? But it's like, we think people are going to say no, but their instinct is not to say no. And so I'm curious, like, if you guys would be willing to try it. Some of you are, in your homes locked because you can't go anywhere else. But like, call someone, ask them something.
Can you get me out here?
Yeah. Can you, can you help me escape from my country?
Probably say yes, so don't ask.
It's true, actually. I wonder how many people could do that. They haven't even tried.
I love this conversation so much. Like, and if you're watching this video, just like post under the video, like try it and let us know how it goes. I'm really curious about that. What's possible here? Like, really, like, if you start asking, where are you not asking that if you would ask, you would receive a yes? Like, if you would not be sure it's a no, what else could show up in your life? I'm like, in so many ways, no?
Yeah. And it's really interesting because this can apply to anything. It could be you getting a new job. It could be you bringing more money in your life. It could be you finding the love of your life. It really has so many infinite ways that it can contribute to your life and living. And that is actually the willingness to try something and give it that, yes, I'm going to try this, is a superpower.
I'm even curious if there's a Facebook challenge, like a group that we create with this, to just play more with it. I'm just like, there is something more to just have our bags and just inspire each other also, like with the touching on the hand, like that's such a good idea. I've never thought of that. Thank you, Laleh. I will ask that people, especially now everyone is afraid to be touched, and so I can do it like this,
Don't worry, bring your gloves and your masks to the street and ask people, can I put my hands on your head?
That's the best.
But you know what? I had so much fun. Like, I remember I did some really crazy stuff. Like, that New York trip was so much fun. But I remember there was this guy, he had a toaster. was walking down the street with a bag with his toaster. And I said, "Excuse me, sir, I really need to make some toast. Can I have your toaster?" And he goes, "Here." He literally gave me the bag with the toaster in it. Now, I didn't need the toaster. I was visiting New York. But it was so funny. Like he goes, "Shh, just don't tell my wife, okay? I have to go buy another one." And I was
Oh
like,
my goodness.
"Don't worry, here it is." But it was like, truly, like, what is it we're not willing to ask for that if we were willing to do it? And for me, you know, one of the things I realized with superpowers is that, my joy and having fun is one of my superpowers. And there's moments that I've made life significant or work significant or whatever, problems significant or whatever. And I like my superpower doesn't disappear, but it's almost like I make it go away until I remember, you know what? Actually, I'm a joyful person. I love to bring silliness and fun into everything. And with all three of these people, it really was that I was doing it from a serious giggle, like it was like, "Hi," like out of the blue, you're talking to them. So you kind of take them off guard, like, "Who are you?" But then there's this like crazy request that to them isn't what the typical person asks for. And New York is a really funny place. Like you can have random people talk to you, and then you can have people who are just like, "I'm not here. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me." So you can have like a mix of all kinds of stuff going on, which I don't know anymore. It's been so long since I've been in New York. Um, but then there's other places like here in Portugal, like in Cascais, like you could say hello to someone. There's no guarantee they'll say hello to you, but they may. And I'm just wondering, wherever you are, like right now you were in Switzerland, now you're in Germany. Like I wonder how you're going to use this to have fun, And then like, and that thing, I want to come back to superpowers. Like what superpower do you have that you haven't been willing to put to use to your advantage, that if you would actually be willing to use it to your advantage, would add so much more into your life, your living, your finances, your relationships, your bank account, and everything else?
So is the secret tagline also like start to acknowledge the magic you be?
What? Don't tell them they're magic. Can they handle that?
No, they can't. They should pretend everything is hopeless now.
Oh, no, I refuse. That's the one I can't refuse, because if I refuse it, I will create it. No, no. But I've gotten to be interesting point of view that just because I love to create, or that just because I'm willing to do something, doesn't mean everyone else is choosing that in their life. So it's okay. You don't have to.
Sometimes people don't know that there's a different choice, therefore I'm pointing it out. Like if you look around you, most people just follow the mainstream of like whatever they think is going on. And if you're the one like, wait a second, what else? Like if you just ask, what else is possible for me? Like question for me is a huge superpower that allows something completely different to show up.
Well, in that particular question, it's funny because before Access, I didn't really walk around and say, what else is possible?
Me
But
neither.
however, I was being it, like if this road didn't work for me, I always turned right, left, straight, whatever. Like I was always willing to try different things to see, okay, how else can we get to the destination we're trying to get to? But then when I actually learned this tool, I'm like, wow, like it can be so easy. Just that, like, even if everything's going fantastic for you, like, how does it get any better than this? Like, what else is available I haven't considered yet? Or you have a problem, or you have a situation, you just don't know how to maneuver it. And you're like, what are the other options? What else is available here? What else is possible here I haven't considered yet? And your question allows everything that's locked up, and for you to think you have no choice, so you only have one choice, to now all the point of view goes away, and you have all of these other, possibilities that can come into your world and into your awareness of, maybe I could try something different now.
You know what? For me, it was like I was working as a waitress for 20 years. And I always was saying, like, I didn't have the tools, the questions of access consciousness. I mean, what would I have created? Would I have them then? But like, I always like, as a waiter, you have to think in possibilities. Like, I was always thinking in possible, like, what's possible? Like, if you go to the problem, that will not help because like tons, like hundreds of people come and you have just to deal with it. Like, you have to look like, what's the possibility? Okay, where like, what table is finishing soon? Like, how can you, as you said, maneuver everything? Going to the problem and like, blah, 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 it's not helping the people standing there. You have to find something to make it possible, like, yeah. And that was like, even in that time, I was like, I'm thinking in possibilities, even though it's not thinking. I guess it's just asking and look what is there that might work,
Yeah. And, you applied it to this busy environment that had constant change, like you're saying, in terms of the restaurant industry,
You
right?
cannot compute that in the morning what happens during the day. That's what I love about that shop, like you need to just look and then deal with it and see, yeah, what is possible.
But the same thing applies if you're a mom. I mean, I have twins, now they're adults, but when they were younger and there was things that were coming up, it was the same thing. But even the same thing when I was an executive, like we had more situations where there was problems. That's why the clients would hire our consulting company, because they thought, okay, we need to improve something, or we need to create something, or there's a problem and we need to fix something, right? But do you know something? It didn't matter how difficult the situations were. Laughter always altered things. Always. Um, the consultants would message me, and like, even in the most difficult situation, they'd be like, you know what? You made light of the situation. Joy was always the secret sauce. So I'm wondering how many of you are hiding your joy? Because right now the world is so serious. But actually, if you were willing to have and be your joy, is what would melt what seems to be the difficulty and the craziness of what's going on. And people talk about the coronavirus and everything else that's going on. And one of my businesses is wellness, and we talk all the time. When you're willing to actually bring joy, when you're willing to laugh, you boost your immune system. You allow your bones, your muscles, your organs to have a massage. So come on, people, your superpower, one of them may be joy, somewhere hiding in all of that craziness. And
even if it's humor, and that humor might be black humor, like things no one else is laughing about, but you can, like, what if you like, I was always like judging some kinds of jokes, and I'm like, fuck, that's actually so funny. I wasn't allowing myself to just have that whole spectrum of humor and fun and laughter. He was like ridiculous. So I was like, what are you laughing at? But it's fun to me. And it's so, like, what's fun to you.
I actually posted today the Saturday Night Live video of Joe Biden winning the presidency and Trump like crying and singing. And I was laughing my butt off. I was like, you know what? This is exactly like, I love Saturday Night Live. And actually, we have presidents that go on that show too, because you need it. Like, it doesn't matter what your job is. We need more laughter in the world. And so if you guys haven't watched that, watch it, because it is funny.
Cool. So what else do we have with superpowers, Laleh? Would you like to tell the people?
Well, Simone and I, we decided we want to get together and have a week of fun play with superpowers. Some of you may discover some of your superpowers. Some of you know some of your superpowers, but you want to exponentialize it. So we actually need your help. we have a couple of graphics and we don't know which one to go with. We don't even know what title. We love superpowers. We love saying
multiply your superpowers.
Multiply your superpowers. Yeah. And then we have some cool graphics that go along with it. So maybe you can assist us and actually vote for which one we should be using. But we thought, how cool would it be to get together an hour a day for, the 20th of November until the 26th for 1 hour and really allow our superpowers to shine and expand and just exponentialize. And how fun to have it be part of it is on the days that Dr. Dane here is also doing his Maestro class, which we're so excited because we're Maestros and we get to be part of that adventure. And come along. We'd love to add more Maestros to the world.
Yeah, it's like the how do you say, the foreplay to the to more magic.
That is true. There will be some foreplay of that because we do start 2 days before the Maestro class is happening. So
yeah. Even if you're not in a Maestro class, which is not significant at all, it's just like something we are choosing, but like you will also receive the newest energies directly, like in that 7 days, which I love. Like I love to have creations at the same times to just ripple the energy out directly when it's when I'm receiving it. Yeah, that's just what I love.
Yeah, and did you guys notice that? Like there was just this whole other space and energy that was available when Simone was sharing that, because we're all part of oneness. And if you allow, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what country you come from, it doesn't matter what language you speak. Our first language was the language of energy. And energy, like when you make this go away, your mind go away, it's just amazing what you and your body have, that superpower and capacity with energy, and being able to bring more wellness in your life, to bring more of truly the things you would like to add to your life and living, and melt away the walls and barriers and the things that are restricting you right now.
Yeah. What else is possible? I wonder
too.
Thanks, Laleh. Thanks, everyone watching.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Thank you guys. See you soon. Bye.